Hi there, Pumpkin. I told you I'd see you again. How are you feeling? All healed up from your brush with me? Oh, that's good. I mean, I may snuff out life, but I'm not a fan of suffering. If I can't kill you, I'm glad you're not hurting at least. Speaking of which... Damn. Still nothing. Oh well, it was worth a try. Now, what's that look? Don't you remember me? You were pretty out of it when we talked. Fresh out of your coma, agonizing pain. I understand why you might have trouble figuring out what was real and what was a hallucination, so let me jog your memory. Remember the nice flowers? From Mel, was it? Remember what I did to them when I touched them? Oh, that rings a bell. That's good. I'd hate to have to introduce myself all over again. That would be so... tedious. Mind if I join you? You know what? Stare blankly at me all you like. I'm joining you. How's life, kid? Ha! Life. I crack myself up. But seriously, how have you been? Good to hear. Glad there aren't any lasting effects after the accident. How's the coffee here? Decent? I'm not a big coffee drinker. It gives me the jitters. A death with shaky hands is a bit sketchy when you think about it. Gotta stay steady. It's a precision job sometimes. Yep, you follow me. I'm still death. Just like we talked about in the hospital. Right before you got all those nice painkillers. I think it's coming back to you. I can see you still have doubts, but I'm glad you're at least keeping an open mind. I don't want to have to kill someone in here just to make my point. No, sit down. I wouldn't do that. I have a list, remember? I don't kill anyone who's not on my list. Do you actually have a sense of humor in there somewhere, Starshine? Here, sit back down and talk to me. Don't make a scene. If you've got questions, go ahead and ask them. I don't mind. Whatever you need to know, get it out of your system so we can get down to business. Right now. Oh, I get it. If I'm talking to you now, does that mean no one anywhere else in the world is dying at this moment? Well, that would certainly be interesting, wouldn't it? Distracting death to keep everything alive. Well, aside from the obvious issues that would arise if things just stopped dying, the answer is no. People and animals and plants and tiny single-celled organisms are dying all over the place, all the time, including right now. Well, for the little things, I outsource. I have a pretty good team of demons and sprites at my disposal. They aren't much for conversation. They're about on par with a Roomba for intelligence, but they get the job done. For you species with higher-level cognitive abilities, I like to handle the work myself. I'm a bit type A in that regard. I like to know a job is done right. You might call me a control freak even. But yes, I can still get it all done for one simple reason. I can be in many places at once. Many, many places. Right now, as we're talking, I'm also working. Diligently, as always. And before you say anything, I know it doesn't make sense. But it doesn't have to. I'm outside the bounds of the rules of this universe. I multitask. Times a billion. So that's how I do it. Although I will admit, even if I'm going about my job elsewhere in this moment, my focus is definitely on you. You and your strange inability to die. Glad you remember. Now we're all caught up. Do you have any more questions before we start talking next steps? What's wrong with how I look? I like this form. I think it suits me. Oh, look at you. You remembered. True. The nurse at the hospital couldn't see or hear me, but that's because I didn't want her to. Out here in public, I can appear as just about anything to anyone. You see me this way. This is the way I like to be seen. I figure you're special. It's the least I can do. But the rest of these people? If they look over here, they'll see you, chatting with the most forgettable person on Earth. The minute they look away, they won't remember what I look like. It's the perfect camouflage. I can move about freely and not worry about anyone noticing me. And at the same time, you don't look like a crazy person talking to yourself at the coffee shop. See? No one's paying us any mind at all. Now, anything else? Good. Let's talk shop, Pumpkin. Do you have anything to add since our last conversation? Anything you might recall that could explain why I can't kill you? Still sticking to the story that you're a perfectly ordinary human, huh? Fine. Whatever. For all I know, you don't know any different. You'd have to be one hell of a thespian to fake your completely confused expression right now. And to be honest, I don't think you have Oscar-worthy skills. So, I spoke to some of my superiors. I had to be careful how to bring this up. I don't want anyone thinking I can't do my job, but they didn't seem to blame me. In fact, they claim to be as baffled as you are, which is odd, to say the least. But there are whispers. I've heard some of my colleagues talking about a change coming. No one seems to know what's happening, though. Or if they do, they're not talking. The higher plane is a bit unsettled right now. The vibe isn't good. So, I decided that rather than sit on my hands and fret about what might be in store, I would put my time to good use. And what do you think the best use of my time might be? Of course I'm still doing my job. Like I said, I'm doing it right now, all over the world. And no one else has given me the trouble that you have. No one else has walked away from my touch and lived to talk about it. Which means that for me, the best use of my time seems to be learning as much as possible about you. No matter what you think or what you say, you're special. For some reason, there's something about you. And in the interest of total disclosure, I hate that I can't kill you. I don't hate you really, but I hate that my infinite cosmic powers are ineffective against the poster child for ordinary, boring humanity. You appear to be everything you say, which is mildly infuriating, because you can't be what you say. If you were, you'd be dead. It makes no sense at all, so since no one else has any answers to give me, and since you're still merrily walking the earth without a care in the world, I'm here to take matters into my own hands and learn everything I possibly can about you. And I mean everything. You and me, we're gonna hang out. I'm your new best friend, until quite literally the end of your life. Oh, don't worry, I won't be by your side every second. We're just gonna spend a lot of time together, and you're gonna tell me all about you. Even the things you might not think matter. Even the tiny little details that you think are insignificant. You never know what might be relevant. I know some of the basics already from my research, but nothing beats actually spending time with you. Oh, that's not a problem. You can just introduce me to anyone else in your life as your friend. They won't question it. I'll make sure of that. What, you don't want to call me Death? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. All right, then. Call me Ceci. It's one of my favorite nicknames. It's short for cessation, as in the cessation of life. You know what? I don't really care if you're not comfortable with this. To be honest, I'm not either. This isn't how I want to spend my time. But you don't seem to get just how bizarre the situation is. And how potentially catastrophic. You might be a sign of the end times for all I know. Or some new form of angel, born of man, ascended to godhood. Or you might just be a glitch in the Matrix. It's impossible to know. But I'm gonna do my damnedest to find out. You got that, Pumpkin? I mean, It's not like you have a choice. Good, be angry. Be annoyed, hate me all you like. But get used to me. At least for now. You done with your coffee? Why don't we take a walk? You can show me where you like to go. Come on, you don't have any other plans. I happen to know that much. But wait, before we go, I just need to try one more time. Damn. Nothing. I'll keep trying, though. Every day. At least once. I'm gonna touch you with intention. Maybe one of these days it'll work. Just not today, I guess. All right, grab your coat. Let's see what we can figure out. Together.